Now we're going to do close couple set, bottom entry. And if you look at the bottom of the cistern, you can see right away there's a difference. We have the hole for the flush valve, the hole for the bottom entry ball valve, and there's two small holes at the side here. These are for the nuts and bolts that are going to hold the cistern onto the top of the toilet pan. So the first thing I need to do is get all the stuff out of the cistern. I've got another different type of flush valve, different type of float operated valve or ball valve. We get the push buttons that we showed you before. We've got a spongy donut washer, nuts and bolts, the V washers on them, plastic sort of wing nuts. So there's no point in me putting the flush valve on, because then I can't get to these two holes for the bolts to go through the cistern and then onto the toilet pan. So I picked these up first. Now these are the bane of most plumbers' life. They always leak. So again, if I'm on site, LX8, silicone sealant, something on there just to help. Some plumbers even put a bit of PTFE tape up on the threads, because sometimes it runs down the threads. I put that one in with the V washer on the inside, metal washer, and then the bolt. And these bolts are really flimsy, they're not very thick at all. So thank God I'm not putting any water in it. Just that holds up. Again, so that's the V washer I've got on this side, and the bolt, and then the nut and metal washer on the outside. Put it in. There would be mastic, there'd be something on that I'd put in it just to make sure. And if possible, I would try and leave it overnight just to sort of set. So I try and do this before I actually fitted it. So I can hold it. I've got my screwdriver and my adjustable spanner. So I can hold it, get it to the right size. And then there's a good bit of movement on that spanner as well. I'll do that next one. That makes the bolts a bit longer. So now they're on. I've not seen one of these flushing valves before, or this type. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a quick look at it. If I ever come across it again, and it's in the cistern, and it's overflowing, or it's the washer's gone on it, just for my own sake, and then it comes apart. So then I'll look at it, and then I can see there's a notch on the inside of that, and there's a notch on them. So in theory, I could probably wind that 360 degrees, and at some point it's going to come off for me. And then it's stuck on. We've got a maximum and minimum half level on the dark side, and you push that button in, and this is for your two button flushes. One will be for the liquids, and the other ones will be for solids. The one over here is max and minimum full level. I can set that, I'll just push that button in, and that clicks up. And even at the side, there's another button. It says full adjuster. That's already been set for me. So I think if that's come from the factory, I'm going to trust it. I'm not going to mess about with anything. So I'm going to leave it. We've got a bigger nut on here. So obviously that flush pipe would be far too small for that. So it's got to go on a close couple set unless I can get a bigger flush pipe for it. And now, if I look inside the cistern, I would put it in sort of that way. Even if I moved it across onto the other side, it may be restricting on the float operated valve on that side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep everything onto the other side, out the way, hold it down. I've got a plastic washer, goes on first, and then the big nut. Again, on site, I'd probably put some sort of mastic or something inside that as well, just to make sure it's not going to leak. Get my grips, and give it a tighten. Really big washer on that. 9 times out of 10, they're absolutely fine. They don't leak. It's these things that always leak when you put them on. So I've got the flush valve in it, I've got the two bolts on it, and now I'm going to put the float operated valve on. Again, really long, because the cisterns are becoming a bit thinner, but they're getting taller now. So obviously, for that one to work, when the water comes up, that float here pushes, make sure it's working. There we go. Inside here, that floats up When that moves up, it pushes pressure on that washer inside here and stops it. When you flush your toilet or push a button, the water comes down levels, that drops down and starts filling up again. When the water stops flushing, that flush valve closes off again, the water level starts raising again, and again just pushes that back up again, puts pressure on the washer and stops the water coming in, and that cycle continues until something gives way at some point. Either the washer gets dirty or a bit of scale on it and then starts overflowing. There's obviously loads of adjustments on you got on here on the top for taking it apart. If that ever sort of broken or stopped working and I need to get a new one, try to find that exact model. I think it would be quite hard. So that's why you always keep the instructions and give them to the customer when you're finished as well. They've got a record of actually what make and model's been fitted, and hopefully they can get these parts easier. So I've got a washer on the bottom already. I take the nut off. Again, the nut has got that raised edge again. That goes onto the china. And what that will do is, when I put it on this side, that will centre the ball valve. Instead of being to one side and maybe causing a leak, that centres it. So I get the flush valve, I put it in here. There's plenty of room for it on that side. And then I get the nut and I wind up. Again, be careful with the plastic threads. Sometimes they're quite easy sometimes just to go on the wrong thread. So that's on. And again, it's really flimsy. I can feel it sort of twisting as I'm doing it. Then I can hold it round, have a look inside, and then you can see the float valve is closing on and off, no problem. And then the flush valve, no matter which button I press, is going as well. So now, if you want, we can try and fit it on top of the cistern. I may need to wedge that up at some point. We have a big foam washer. That goes on the bottom, on top of the nut. Again, you can put whatever you want round there. Mastic, LX8, whatever you want to do. Probably something's better than nothing. And now I've got to try and hold it up with it, drop it on the cistern. I can put the washer on and put the bolts in. Obviously, the advantage I've got just now is it's on a table. I'll be on my hands and knees in someone's bathroom, just making sure the washer looks a bit central. I'm happy with that. Now I think I'm missing one of these washers from the bag when it arrived, and I think that would probably go on the nut at the bottom, and then the plastic nut as well. Again, most things are plastic now. I can wind that on, and then obviously get another plastic washer on that side if I had one. And then wind that up. And what that does is that compresses that foam washer and hopefully creates a seal for when I flush it. It runs through the china into the bowl and doesn't come out at the back or at the sides. I've also got this key to make sure they're nice and tight. So send me the key, I won't send me the right amount of washers, and just make sure they're all nice and tight. Again, you probably can over tighten these. And that is it on. So now, hopefully that stays and doesn't go anywhere. I've got to put the cistern lid on. So these are the complicated sort of setting up bit. These rods here can come out different lengths for pushing down, or I can wind them in. I would wind them in first of all, not too much, just a bit, which means when I put it on the cistern lid, it shouldn't be touching the buttons. I take the nut off the bottom, push it in through the cistern lid, make sure the blue washer's on there, and then, oh, I get it on. I can tighten it up. So I have one button is more like a half, 3/4 of a moon or 2/3 of a moon, and one's like a third of the moon. So obviously I know right away the small ones for the short flush and the big ones for the long flush. I will look at the instructions, find out which one's a long flush and short flush on the cistern lid. I'll put the lid on. Oops, so I know I've got to extend these. So to extend these buttons, and I say most of them will be all slightly different, just bring them out about an inch, tighten that nut, that stops them moving, and I can put them back on as well. And again, it's touching them now, so I can feel that's hitting them. I can also, if I'm getting really panicky, put a spirit level on top of it and measure from the height of the flush valve to the bottom of the buttons. So the more you sort of do these, the better sort of feel you get for it. That's probably enough to hit both buttons. Obviously I'd have some water in there and I'd be setting it, I'd be adjusting it to make sure. There we go. I can feel it springing back on the flush valve and that one's working as well. And they're closing off. So there's a spring inside here, it's closing them off. I can feel the flush valve coming back up. A lot of plumbers, when they fit them, because it's connected to the top of the cistern, don't bother fixing it through the back of the sort of onto the wall. I would always make sure I've got a couple of screws in there and washers just to hold it on, just to give it a bit of extra support. Some people put a bit of mastic on the back of it as well, but mastic's everywhere. Just check it again. Yeah, I can feel it sort of clacking off and on. And that is a close couple set. That's probably more like being a plumber. Yeah. That's what I try to do.